name also suggests, opposing means they are opposites. They are working against each other. So, an example, push and pull. Push and pull. Those are two very different actions. And like with our push-ups and our rowing today, push-ups are the pushing action, rows are the pulling action. With push-ups and pushing, you are using your weight and forcing yourself back. You're pushing against a force, and with a pull, you're pulling the force towards you. So it's working very different muscles. You've got the muscles on the front side, and you've got the muscles on the back side. And like at the end, with our stomach and our lower back, those are also opposing muscle groups. And next week we're going to do biceps and triceps. So it's kind of easy when you're spotting your opposing muscle groups. If you don't know what they are, just look what's in the front and look what's in the back. Front, back, front, back, front, back. Same thing with our legs, quadriceps, hamstrings, front and back. Those are the muscles that oppose each other, that work against each other. So when you're training, while one muscle is contracting, the other one is extending and stretching. So when I'm doing a bicep curl and I'm contracting the bicep, my tricep is strengthening and lengthening out. So imagine if you just did 2,000 bicep curls. Well, your triceps are going to end up being pretty weak because you're going to keep stretching them out. Every time you do a curl, it stretches the tricep, it stretches the opposing muscle. So why is opposing muscle group training good for you? Well, number one, it helps with injury prevention. So it's not good to just do 1,000 bicep curls. It's not good to have one side of your body strong and the other side weak, because it's not that, like yoga and flexibility, having stretchy muscles doesn't mean that they're weak, but it's the opposite of strong. I mean, long, lean muscles are good too, but when you are strengthening, it's elongating your muscles, it's working them different than you are when you're contracting them. So strength training is good, stretching is also good, but you need to have a balance between the two. So as I was saying, you can't go and do 1,000 bicep curls and then go do something that requires your triceps if you haven't worked them at all, because your triceps are going to get hurt, you're going to injure yourself, because they are going to be really super weak because you've been strengthening them, or you've been stretching them by doing all those bicep curls. So you need to have balance. You need to work, when you're working, if you're doing opposing muscle group training, you're going to be going back and forth in between your two things. And while we did take a little break with our workout today, after we did the push-ups, we took a 20-second break before we did our pulling exercise. But that's not necessary to do. When you're doing opposing muscle group training, another benefit of that is that you can go ahead and do 100 push-ups and then go right into doing 100 rows, because it's working completely different muscle groups. So you can, I guess you can train a little bit faster if you're in a time crunch at the gym doing opposing muscle groups. So you can go faster between your exercises because your other muscles don't require rest. Like when you're doing complementary muscle groups, chest and triceps, you can't really go from one set of push-ups right into a set of triceps because the triceps were already working during the push-ups. But here, like if you're doing chest and back, you can do all of your push-ups and go right into your pulls right away because they are working different things. It's push and pull, it's push and pull, so it's two different activities. And so therefore you can train faster and harder at the same time. You can train two muscle groups faster and harder at the same time using opposing muscle groups rather than if you were to do complementary muscle groups. And the other big benefit is the injury prevention. So while you're doing your opposing muscle group training, you are going to be focusing on one section of your body. You're going to be doing the strengthening here and the stretching here, and then you'll be doing the the opposite. So you'll do some kickbacks for your triceps, and here your bicep is lengthening. So with opposing muscle group training, you're getting strengthening and stretching of your muscles all within the same workout. And that, again, is good for injury prevention. Opposing muscle group training is big on injury prevention because you're working both things at the same time.